hear what I was playing then?
I didn't be polite to listen, sir.
Well, I'm sorry about that for your sake. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. But I play with wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I save science for life.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of the science of life, have you got the cucumber sandwich to cover for Lady Grafton?
Yes, sir.
By the way, lady, I see from your book that on last Thursday night when Lord Shoreman and Mr. Worthing were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment, these servants invariably drink the champagne? I asked merely for information.
I attribute it, sir, to the superior quality of the wine. In my experience in married households, the champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand.
Heaven, is marriage so demoralizing as that?
I believe it is a very pleasant state, sir. I've had very little experience with it myself. I've only been married once. That was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and the youngers.
I don't think I am much interested in your family life.
No, sir. It's not a very interesting subject. Never think of it myself.
Oh, very natural, I am sure. That will be lame.
Thank you, sir.
Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. Oh, really? Lower orders. Don't set us a good moral example. What on earth is the use of them? They seem as a class who have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Ernest Worthing.
Oh, well, how are you, my dear Earnest? What brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure! Pleasure! What else would bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, dear Algy.
I believe it is customary in good society to take some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are the people you amuse?
Oh, neighbors. Neighbors.
Got nice neighbors in that part of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
Oh, naturally you must amuse them. Oh, by the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Eh? Shropshire? Yes, of course. Hello. Why these cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who is coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta.
Oh,
And what?
how perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well. But I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
I am in love with Gwendolyn. I have come to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you would come for pleasure. I call that business.
Oh, how utterly unromantic you are.
I really don't see anything romantic in proposing. It is very romantic to be in love, but there is nothing romantic in a definite proposal. Why? One may be accepted. One usually is, I believe. Then the excitement is all over. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. If ever I get married, I'll certainly try to forget the fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Algy. The divorce court was specially invented for people whose memories are so curiously constituted.
There's no use speculating on that subject, my dear fellow. Divorces are made. Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are ordered specially for Aunt Augusta.
Oh. Well, you've been eating them all the time.
Yes, but that is an entirely different matter. She is my aunt.
Oh.
Here. Have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
Oh, and very good bread and butter it is too.
Well, my dear sir, You need not eat as if you were going to eat it all. You behave as if you were married to already. You are not married to already, and I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, girls never marry the men they flirt with.
Oh?
Girls don't think it right.
That is nonsense!
It isn't. It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees all over the place. And in the second place, I don't think my consent.
Your consent?
Dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin. Before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of,
Cecily! What do you mean? What do you mean now about Cecily? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily.
Bring me that cigarette case Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room the last time he got here.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean to say that you had that cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you had told me. I was right at Frantic Letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly on a large reward.
Well, I certainly wish you would have offered one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
There is no point offering a large reward in his fact.
That's rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, it makes no matter. For, now that I look at the inscription inside, I find that the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me read it 100 times. You have no right to read what is written inside. It is very ungentlemanly to read what is written inside of one's private cigarette case.
Oh, it's absurd to have a hard, fast rule about what one should read and what one shouldn't read.
I'm quite aware of the fact. And I don't propose to discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one discusses in private. I simply want my cigarette case back.
Yes. But this isn't your cigarette case. This cigarette case is a gift from someone of the name of Cecily. And you said you didn't know anyone of that name.
Oh, well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes. Charming old lady, lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me, Algie.
Yes. But why does your aunt call herself Little Cecily? And she is your aunt and lives at Tunbridge Wells. From Little Cecily with her fondest love.
My dear Algie, what on earth is there in that? Some ants are tall, some ants are not tall. That is surely something an ant may decide for herself. You seem to think that every ant should be exactly as yours. That is absurd. That is so absurd.
Yes. Why does your aunt call you her dear nephew? From Little Cecily, with her fondest love, to her dear Uncle Jack. No, there is no objection, I admit, to an ant being a small ant, but why an ant, no matter what her size may be, should call her own nephew or uncle, I can't quite make out. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.